Hello, people. Welcome to another episode of Grange TV. We're going to be talking about the Max Holloway versus Calvin Kattar fight. We're just going to talk about what we thought went right, what we thought went wrong, um, our our opinions on it, and then please, guys, we want you to put in the comments what you think. Put in your whatever you like, and we're going to try and get back to everyone as quickly as we possibly can. Tell us if you think the fight should have been stopped. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get any of the likes. Just we're going to go over here because this episode is brought to you by Manscaped. And if you could hit the brand thing, yeah. So this episode's brought to you by Manscaped. Please, guys, go to Manscaped, hit the code FAB, get 20% off plus free shipping, and please keep watching us. We're going to keep talking about that Manscaped products. They are fantastic products. Where is that bag? It's around here somewhere. Yeah, just there. You get the bag with it. So you get this fantastic bag, and you get all the other accessories that come with it, which are the clippers. Fantastic, very hygienic clippers. You get these. This thing's the best thing in the world, I will say to you, just because it's like a thing to stop you chafing. I'll go running and go surfing and that, and I fucking get pain, man. Looks like I'm gonna die sometimes. The chafing, not just in my nuts, but in my legs as well, my inner legs. Do you chafe?
No, you've seen my legs, fam.
He's got skinny legs.
I don't get chafed.
Yeah. My legs chafe badly, like raw. You know what I mean? So when I found that cream, when they sent it to me, because you also get these like these underwear that are anti-chafing as well, so you don't chafe, and plus the bag, and I thought, and a t-shirt. You get a t-shirt as well.
How good is the t-shirt?
You like the t-shirt?
Oh man, I love the t-shirt.
Why is that?
I wear it to the gym and that. I get so many compliments on it because of your balls will thank you. Do you know what I mean? And everyone goes, "Oh, what?"
Do you tell them to use this?
Yeah,
code?
Of course. Yeah, I tell them.
Excellent.
Check it out. Check out the podcast and check out Manscaped for sure. Yeah, your balls will thank you, guys.
Man, honestly, like I'll be honest with you, like the combination of those particular underwear, which I actually have on now, so I can't show it to you, and that anti-chafing cream, not like on my legs everywhere, it stops me chafing, and that to me was the thing that sold me on this product. You know, like at first, even when they sent me the stuff, I was like, you know what, I don't know if I feel comfortable doing this, da 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 da. And then I wore it and I used it and I pushed all in, man. I pushed all in,
yeah.
You know, and now I'm like an advocate for it. And the Manscaped ads are just going to keep getting better and better because I believe in the product now. I believe in the product. Yeah. So hit FAB, 20% off free shipping with the code. All right, Max Holloway versus Kattar. Your thoughts, Eli?
Yeah, I worked the night before, so I got home. We just had a crazy night at work. I'm a firefighter, so we had a big night at work with a few fires, bushfire, car fire, and that. So I got home planning to just watch every single fight, and I fell asleep, but woke up just as the Kattar and Max Holloway fight, and man, fucking Kattar got peppered.
What did you think was the biggest difference there between the two?
Oh, just probably the work rate that Max Holloway can continue, to work at, and then his confidence as well. He's fought on a different level. So his confidence, I feel, was, at another whole level. Like Kattar was still, questioning some of his shots and hesitant sometimes. And I think Kattar sort of was a little bit too dependent on, his power. But Max was just that, a little bit quicker, a little bit more slicker. And that was the tale of the fight, I feel. But very durable, man. Kattar's durable, but it's like durable, and I don't think Max actually has that one punch knockout power. Do you mean he just peppers you, and it's the same as sort of that Nate Diaz type of, just peppers you, can put you away, but if you're super durable, then you just get beat up bad, like Kattar did.
Do you think that the fight could have been stopped though?
Yeah, that could have been stopped. Yeah, because you're just getting fucking ton punched out of you. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I reckon it could be stopped.
How much do you think that? Because everyone's talking about this particular performance of Max's. I was super impressed with Max's performance against Alex in the second fight and in the first, but I was super impressed with both of them in the second fight, just because I saw a completely different Max come in and the way that he fixed. No, I'm not going to say fixed because he didn't do anything wrong in the first fight. I was just impressed with how he was able to adjust to Alex come the second fight.
Yeah.
And that fight was all the way down to the wire, depending on how you scored the third. And so has Max improved out of sight against Kattar, or was Kattar?
No, I don't think Kattar's at that level.
Right.
As Alex and Max. I don't feel it was a huge step up. You know what I mean? I know he had a knockout win over Stevens, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was
elbow.
Yeah, that was it. That was impressive. But I don't know. It's a huge step up to look at the people that Max Holloway's fought. Look at the people that Alex has fought. Do you know what I mean?
And beat.
Yeah, and
both
beat.
Of them had fought and beat.
So they've been there and proved there. And you can say that about a lot of fighters. There's a lot of special fighters who come up and they take that step up and they step up to the plate and end up going on to beat. Because there was one time where Conor McGregor was, do you know what I mean, just that guy taking on the better opponents and we didn't know what to expect. I remember when he fought Seaver, was it?
Yeah.
And that was sort of like, do you know what I mean? I thought Seaver would run through him, which he did. It wasn't that much of an opponent. But, you know, there's people coming up all the time. But I just didn't feel like Kattar was that special person that was going to, you know what I mean, change the game.
One of the things that I felt, having seen the Moicano and the Zabit fights, and I said this before, I'm not just saying it post-thing, because I really hate the post-fight analysis where a lot of people come in and they first kind of bag Kattar or whoever, you know. The first thing I said was, I think that Max is going to drown him with volume, and I don't think it's new. I think everyone else could say it. The other thing, and Volkanovski said this when we had him on the podcast recently, was he saw the Moicano fight and he saw the Zabit fight, and he said with Kattar, Alex said this before the fight, you can watch it on the podcast, and he said he didn't like how long it took Kattar to adjust against Zabit.
Yeah,
he felt that Kattar should have adjusted earlier because what he was doing wasn't working. And when he said that, and I looked at it against Max, and Max came in and said, you know what? I'm going to pour the volume on, because he's a volume fighter.
Yep.
But usually he starts first and second slow. But he poured the volume on from the start with speed and volume, etc. He poured it on from the first, second round. Now, the question I was going to ask you is not whether or not Kattar should have adjusted what he was doing, is can he adjust? Does he have another tool in his arsenal? Because if he comes out to outbox Max, that wasn't going to work, and that was apparent after the first round. But does he have another tool in his arsenal to really give Max a different looks? I know that he grew up wrestling. I know that he had the wrestling there, but what do you think?
Oh, well, he obviously didn't have another tool because do you know what I mean? He stuck to that same game plan that he was getting beaten at.
So what I'm saying is, could he? I don't even think that he did anything wrong.
Yeah, but
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he didn't do anything wrong. It was just that he was a 9 out of 10, and Max was a 10 out of 10.
Because I feel that he showed he was super fit.
Yeah,
you know, he's super resilient. But he fought a guy that was better at doing what he does.
Yeah, so that's. Do you know what I mean? If you don't have another tool to really back that up, that's the difference.
I was super impressed by Max. I don't know. Do you think it's going to be a third one with him and Alex?
There will be at some stage. I don't think it needs to happen straight away.
But now say Alex beats Ortega, which is no easy feat.
Yep.
If Alex beats Ortega and Max has already won, I think Max showed that he deserves the rematch with that win. Like that win was like,
yeah, it was
like, you know what I mean? He didn't go out. He broke about 3 records or something on the night.
Yeah, he bashed him bad. Man, because it's going to happen then. It's going to happen. But it's nearly. I remember listening to Alex said, like, do they keep making that fight until Max wins? Do you know what I mean? That's I could sort of like.
The problem is that, you know, and like I'm working with Alex, you know,
yeah.
so I am definitely on Alex's side on this. But I also feel like after a performance like that from Max, that was like that was, you know,
Yeah,
he-
they're
I'm speechless.
they're the guys. The three of them with Brian Ortega, Max, and Alex. They're the three dudes in that division. Do you know what I mean? They're the three in that division that I think is sort of really keeping it alive in that top 10. The other guy, you know, like Kattar, what was he, 5 or 6?
Yeah.
There's they're the guys who are keeping that division really interesting. Max is not going to go back up to lightweight, but would Alex be a chance of going back up to lightweight, or does he have that? Does he have that UFC power to make that decision if he did win the next fight?
Here's the thing with Alex at lightweight. We saw Max at lightweight, and he wasn't able to really be Max at lightweight.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? I feel that he, like you said, he doesn't have that one shot sort of power to put people away, you know, with one shot. And so that's going to be even less at lightweight. And as you move higher up the weights, it matters more.
Yeah, but does Alex have a few more tools than Max with his wrestling and how he mixes it up?
I think he does, but
durable.
But the problem is, it's kind of like Mike Chandler.
Yeah.
In that they're heavy. Like when people talk about size, and they, you know, and I see it all the time. People go, he's big for the weight division, and he's blah blah blah. This is how much he weighs in on the fight night. But Chandler's big, but he's short.
Yeah.
And Alex is very big, but he's short.
Yep.
And so that, you know, he's going to lose a bunch of advantages at lightweight that he would have at featherweight. He's a bit kind of like Khabib going from lightweight to welterweight. I think Alex can muscle a lot of guys, and he's very strong. And then that allows him, he's very smart guy too. That allows him to put all of his other tools in play.
Yeah.
The fact that he has those physical advantages, which I don't think he would have those physical advantages necessarily at lightweight. Although he'd be no easy fight for anyone. Neither would Chandler at welterweight.
Yeah, welterweight, yeah.
But I think that Max and Alex are true featherweights in that that's their best place.
Yep.
Alex is little, man. He's short.
Yeah.
Very big, very broad guy.
Strong.
Super strong. Stupid strong.
Yeah.
Like one of his legs like two of mine.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not saying much, but yeah.
But where from then? Do you mean if that rematch happens, where from then? Because who does Alex fight do you mean if he wins, who does Max fight if he wins? Because if they go another cracker, does that just set up straight away for a fourth fight? Because does Alex then has the right to go, all right, well, I beat him twice. He's beat me once. Like, no, we've got to go again.
Yeah.
And then it never ends. They just fight 5 times.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few things. What do you think of the body shots from Max?
Man, I love body shots altogether. Like, they're an investment. And I think in boxing and UFC, they're getting utilized a lot more than what they did, let's say, 5 to 10 years ago. I think people were seeing that the investment in them and seeing the payoffs. I love how he mixes it up. Do you know what I mean? You need to mix it up. You keep them guessing. And
his body shots started in the first round at a brutal pace, and I've never seen him start like that.
Yeah.
And he started like that. And when he started the body shots in the first round and did not stop the body shots until the 4th or 5th. And I'm going to tell you something for people that if you've never been hit in the body, it doesn't hurt a little bit. Like if you get hit hard in the liver or something, you feel like you want to cry to your mum, shit yourself, and leave. It really, really just stops you in your tracks. It's not like, it hurts and you can shake it off or anything like that. It starts to really shut you down and paralyze you. And he hit him with some massive ones.
Yeah.
Big spinning back kicks to the body, those little jabs to the body, the right hands to the body, right hand lead to the body, then to the head. And it just keeps just not letting you stop. Another thing I want to point out, and this, I don't know if this was in preparation for it or if he made that adjustment on the fly, was the oblique kicks. The oblique kick that he was throwing from his right leg, that one stops Kattar being able to load up and put his weight on that lead foot.
Yep.
It stops that. So it stops the right hand. It stops the right hand counter, because Kattar can't sit on his punch. But the other thing that it does is, and this a lot of people don't realize, is it stops Kattar's calf kick because Kattar can't plant his foot to throw the calf kick because he's got the oblique kick coming in.
You love that kick, don't you?
I love the oblique kick.
Yep.
I love it. Should be
probably another thing that's been added to people's, do you know what I mean, resume over the last, because that didn't exist, let's say, 10 years ago.
Well, you know, the thing is, it's banned in a lot of the striking sports.
Oh, yep, yeah.
You know, you can't just stomp on someone's knee like that in most fighting sports.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that to me was one of the really, really smart things he did, is just stopping that. Another thing, well, look, do you think that Max was a lot faster than Kattar, or because
I just think his timing is better.
Right? Can you talk about
and
that?
it's just that it's so subtle sometimes, where like the difference between an inch, do you know what I mean, or a couple centimeters, and that it's once you can settle on that distance and you have your range set, like your confidence can really, do you know what I mean, grow, because you know exactly where their range is at, how far they're covering each time they throw a punch. It can really make a difference. And I think he got his range in nice and early, and he's a master at it. And just his range and timing is just better. I don't think he was faster. Like his punch leaving from its set position to where, do you know what I mean, where it's full extended, is the speed wouldn't be any quicker. It's just that he times it better on the other person's movement and his movement. One
of the things Alex was saying when we had him on, he was the ability of Max to be in the right place at the right time constantly.
Yeah.
You know, and that makes a massive difference.
Yeah.
Like just being in the right place, sliding in, sliding out. He was coming in, jabbing, sliding in, sliding out. Kattar was throwing the counter, and Max was sliding back in and throwing the counter over the top. He was countering Kattar's counter.
Yeah.
You know, which is and that's Kattar's best weapon. Kattar's best weapon is throw the jab, you counter, and he right hands over the top.
Time. Yeah.
And Max was getting there first. Kattar they were saying, even his corner saying to him, you got to be first. And this is not a criticism on his corner or on him. He couldn't get there first.
Yep.
Max was in the right position at the right time, throwing at the right time, getting out at the right time, and then getting back in. And so he was hitting Kattar 5 times for every time Kattar was hitting him once, if at all.
Yeah.
You know, and so that really, really, like in the decision making across the board, and like again, like Alex said to me, where he saw the problem with Kattar was his inability to make the adjustments in time, and he wasn't able to make those adjustments. And I watched Max, and he ate a lot of calf kicks in that first round, more than he needed to. You would think, and then he made that adjustment with that oblique kick, and he stopped that oblique kick.
Yeah,
and he was always in the right. Like with the oblique kick, he stopped the calf kicks, he stopped the power shots being loaded up, and then he poured it on. Kattar is a monster, dude. Like, to me, honestly, whatever I thought of Kattar before, I think more of him now, because if you can't outbox him the way Max did, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, he'll give anyone problems. I think Max is just at a different level with the experience he's had, the confidence he has, his timing. Yeah, he's just at another level. It's Max Holloway, man. He's a star.
Do you think it should have been stopped?
Yeah, I still think it should have been stopped.
Who should have stopped it?
The referee.
At what point? Because this is the problem. Like, if the ref had stepped in,
what is the referee's, like? Why is he in the ring?
To protect the fighter.
Yeah. With one fighter not getting, do you know what I mean? He would it was like, again, there's always a puncher's chance but I couldn't see it happening. He couldn't hit him. So
what about his corner? Should they have stopped it?
That's tough, because, man, as you even have that more of a hope, because you might have seen that in sparring or in other fights where, do you know what I mean, he might be getting beat up a little bit, and then he just puts that one on and can put him away. You might have a little bit more confidence in their power and that.
And in fairness, he did land some counters.
Yeah. As a corner, it's hard. It's very hard too, because I don't know what the relationship is like in that as well, because some relationships,
criticize.
Yeah, some relationships as a coach is strictly business, and you know what I mean. It's your employee of the fighter.
That's true.
Do you know
as well.
what I mean?
That
So
is true.
and it's strictly
That's what
like
a lot
that.
of people don't realize.
Yeah, no, there are
That's
some
in
where
boxing, kickboxing.
boxing a big one.
Yeah.
I really feel like it is in boxing.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh, just, you know what I mean, because they move around. Sometimes boxers get stale and they'll move around to different camps and they don't really form like a friend relationship. It's more, do you know what I mean, business. And I feel the trainer, if that's the guy who's paying you, you got to do what he wants. He don't want you to stop the fight. Do you know what I mean? Are you going to be brave enough to go in and go, no, man, you will get
and lose your money.
Yeah, and lose the fighter because he's not happy with you.
And
so do you know what I mean? No, you fucking
your...
stopped me. I was coming back to you, and I'm out of here.
That makes it very hard. I'm not saying that that's what happened with Kattar.
No, I'm not saying that either. But I don't know the relationship there. I'm not too sure. There's a whole bunch of factors that took place. Do you know what I mean? It could have been that they knew that he has that one stopping power, and that's what they were hoping on. Or that, yeah, man, there's heaps of different factors why their corner might not have stopped it.
All right, so I'm gonna just the last thing I'm gonna bring up, anyways, that I'm interested in. And you are a boxing coach now. You work with the New South Wales team. You're a podium finisher as an amateur in Australian Nationals. The sparring, Max said he hasn't been sparring. Didn't spar for Volkanovski too, where he had a stellar performance. He did not spar for this fight, or minimal sparring for this fight.
Yeah,
thoughts,
man. He's probably, I think Max has got to a spot where you can't take that damage over and over again. I think he's really starting to look after his health a little bit more. He came out after the fight and spoke about, do you know what I mean, there's no need to take that amount of shots or even take shots. So I think he's a little bit more aware of, and Hawaii, do you know what I mean, like a lot of, they're tough there. I'm sure back when they used to spar, it'd just be, do you know what I mean, fans on, mouth guards in, fans on. Even if they wore mouth guards, you know what I mean, after time, they'd probably forget them.
Yeah.
So I think they're just being a little bit more smarter about it. I don't see the need for hard sparring consistently
at that level as well. He's had his hard sparring.
Yeah, that's it. Do you know what I mean?
Fight experience.
Yeah. The thing with hard sparring is I think what a lot of people do wrong is it's not going to, your ability to take a shot is not going to improve by taking shots.
No,
in sparring.
It's going to diminish.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's only going to get worse. So I think there is still there's still a need for sparring, but I don't think it needs to be. Also, when you only do hard sparring, and I feel like you don't do like a touch type of sparring or do you mean use at 40% or something like that, you can get really hesitant not to try anything new because you're going to get tagged. But when you're starting to a bit of tag sparring or you're moving around a little bit at 40% or something like that, you might start trying something new and go, all right, that's starting to work for me. Now I can try it in my hard sparring. You won't do that if you're only hard. You know what I mean? If every time you're in there and you're just trying to bang because you're a little bit more cautious, a little bit more on edge. Man, it's working for him. So I'm sure he's still doing some. Do you know what I mean? They'll still be doing some type of sparring.
But there's a difference between you moving, sparring, touch sparring, and the rest of it, and you getting down and like
if
having
it's working for him, continue with it because he's saving his brain too.
Especially, I think someone like Max has had, that many fights.
Yeah.
So guys, let us know your thoughts. Tell us what you think. Put it down in the comments. We'll do our best to get back to you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Take care.